Welcome to the party. I'm Sam Ekstrom. We're glad you're with us on this Wednesday morning. It's our Care 11 Minnesota Football Party Spectacular on Locked On Sports Minnesota, audio on the Locked On Vikings podcast feed. We appreciate you being here. We've got Julia on site in OKC covering basketball, still showing up to talk football. Can't wait to hear from everybody today on the show. We'll meet the whole panel in a second. On today's show, we talk about the Vikings with the most to prove in OTAs starting next week. JJ McCarthy has a QB rank on PFF. Do we agree with it, disagree with it? And we've got some tush push talk after some news broke this morning. But let's meet our entire panel. Let's go around the horn, starting with Julia.
Hi, guys. Julia Daniels, Care 11 sports reporter. Like Sam said, in OKC right now covering basketball, so I'm putting my football brain back into my head. Also, the lighting is terrible, and I already told everybody that I look like Elphaba because it looks so green this morning. So disregard that, but I'm still here.
Ron Johnson, former Gophers and NFL wide receiver, host of the Ron Johnson Show, and I am excited to talk about my day at TCO because I do know some players with the most to prove, and I actually talked to them.
Ooh, can't wait to hear that. I'm Reggie Wilson, sports director at Care 11, and we got some serious business happening. There's a lot of money in Minneapolis right now. All the NFL owners are here.
Yeah, add that up. $1 billion times 32, multi-billion times 32. Yeah, that's a lot of wealth. Hanging out at what? Where do they meet? Is it at the hotel across from TCO?
Yep. Omni Lakes. Well, they were at the hotel at Mall of America a couple years ago. Julia and I were there for those meetings, but usually at Omni Lakes Vikings.
Nice. And they're going to be voting on the tush push today. Also, apparently the playoff seating proposal got tabled. We'll get more into that as we go on. But OTAs for the Vikings will be getting underway in 6 days, I believe, at TCO Performance Center. Rookie camp already under our belt. Which Vikings have the most to prove? And I'm not going to let you off the hook and say JJ McCarthy because that's too easy. I need a different answer, Julia. Which Viking has the most to prove?
Oh, God. I'm just like looking at the depth chart. You know, I'm going to go with Walter Rouse here.
Walter Rouse.
Wow.
Did not see that one coming.
I don't know if it's more of like he has something to prove or I'm like excited to see what this season shapes up like for him. He was so impressive last year as a rookie, and he's also just like such an intelligent guy, which I know a lot of people talk about. Like linemen are tend to be really intelligent people, but Walter has like an engineering degree. I don't know if anybody knew that or not, but yeah, I'm just excited to see what Walter does. I think Walter has put himself out there just as somebody that can be recognizable to the fan base because he does like community events, things like that. And so when it comes to OTAs, it's like he's kind of built up this foundation for himself in terms of like, hey, I'm a Viking. I'm involved in the community. I'm like somebody that I want you to recognize. And now it's his time to really back it up at OTAs as he kind of heads into his sophomore season. So I'm excited to see what Walter Rouse does. I just think, he seems like such a cool dude, and I think he had a pretty solid year last year. So, yeah, I don't know. Is that random or not?
It's random, but I actually see an avenue where this could be meaningful because if there's a delay in Christian Darrisaw's return,
yeah, he's still questionable.
Right, from the knee, there'd be a battle to see who would fill in at left tackle for those couple games. And they brought in, was it Justin School? The swing left tackle, but they've also got Rouse, who's been around for a year. So I get it. I see the path there for Walter Rouse to be important. Ron, who you got?
I'm gonna let Reggie go first, just so I don't take, because mine is like it's one position, but more than one guy. So I'm gonna let Reggie go.
Okay, so I know it's not a whole lot to glean from like mini camp just because like we're not into the nitty gritty yet, but I will go just in general this season. I'm gonna say Justin Jefferson. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think Jeff Okudah. I'm interested. Like this was like a buy low type of a signing. A guy, it's like, look, we haven't committed a whole lot, but it's another former first round pick that Kwesi has decided to take on to see if they can get the most out of him. And you would think that if anybody could get the most out of him, it would be Brian Flores. But you think about it, 3 teams in the last 3 years. He's battled serious injury, Achilles tear with the Lions. And so you think about Falcons, Texans, and now Vikings. And last year he was on injured reserve as well. I think it's a guy who has a lot of talent, but just hasn't been able to stay healthy and consistent on the field. But, if he can be healthy and he can work with Flores and his Vikings defensive staff on his technique and just continuing to build consistent days one after the other, I think he could be a guy who could contribute. As like I said, a former high pick, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what he does and how he can mix into that cornerback room. They finally got some good depth in the cornerback room, and I think it'll breed some healthy competition for Okudah to show what he can do.
And I'll jump in too, Ron, before you go with my guy. I'm going Theo Jackson. Theo Jackson's my choice, and here's why. The Vikings basically, they spent cash up the wazoo this offseason, and they brought people back, and they got people they wanted in free agency. But the one decision they did make, they let Cameron Bynum walk, and they immediately gave that moderate extension to Theo Jackson. The only thing we've seen from Theo is that pick at the end of the Seattle game where he came on and picked Geno Smith and clinched that game. He's been liked by the coaches, but we've really seen very little from him. So the fact that the Vikings let Bynum walk, extended Jackson, that's a pretty big show of faith in Theo Jackson. They did not go out and find even really a veteran, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they went and got another safety to compete at that spot. I think Theo Jackson has very much been ordained as the starter next to Harrison Smith. How is he going to back that up? How is he going to be deployed? How much is he going to be in the box? Is it going to be more of a free safety position? I'm watching Theo Jackson in OTAs. All right, Ron, hit us with it.
So, love all the picks. Sam, one thing I'll say is keep an eye on Josh Metellus as being a true strong safety this year, and Christian Harrison Smith being a free, and Theo being the rover is what they call it. So the rover was used at Florida State. A couple teams have used that rover safety position where he becomes a rover, where he can play in the slot. Also, he can cover, and then he can play in the back end. But Mekhi Blackman for me has a lot to prove. One, he's injured. So is he going to come back from injury healthy? Because the names that you named, Jeff Okudah, he could step in and just become the next cornerback to take Mekhi Blackman out next to Isaiah Rodgers and Byron Murphy. Then you got Ambry Thomas, who can come in, who was a starter for the 49ers until he broke his arm. Like, he was a free agent pickup, ended up winning the starting job out of Michigan, big helmet school. And now, and again, another injured guy that Kwesi got out of the rubble and is able to turn his. And for those that have understood the rubble of the Avengers, when Thor ended up on a weird planet with the Hulk, that's what this feels like. It feels like somebody's going out to the salvage yard, getting a bunch of little pieces, putting them together, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, did I just pull Thor from the garbage dump? Like, you just don't know what you're going to get out of these guys. Jeff Okudah was hurt. Mekhi Blackman's hurt. Ambry Thomas was hurt. Ambry Thomas was an arm, though. And I think that's the biggest thing. His legs are fine, but Jeff Okudah could upseat Mekhi Blackman. Like, we don't know. So Mekhi Blackman has a ton to prove because everybody's assuming he should be one of the corners to come in because Byron Murphy gets kicked to the slot. And Ryan Clark told us this years ago when he was on my show, when the Vikings, or not years ago, I don't know how long ago that was, but when Byron Murphy came to the Vikings from the Cardinals, he said Byron Murphy is a traveling corner if you want him to be. He can stay outside. He can go in the slot. He can travel with the motion guy. I think they're going to use him more like that, and they're looking for two strong outside corners to be their outside corners, and Byron Murphy becomes the moving corner. That's why Mekhi Blackman has a lot to prove. He can lose his spot to one of these guys they bought in.
Yeah, I think the secondary is fascinating. And I think we've said this a couple of years in a row. That feels like one possible weakness of this team if you don't have a strong third corner. Plenty of competition, not a lot of star power at that position. So we'll be watching that closely. Let's take a quick early pause and then get into where PFF ranked J.J. McCarthy among the 32 quarterbacks in the league. Higher than they had Sam Darnold. I'll say that. That's next. Brought to you by LinkedIn today. And as a small business owner, your work doesn't end when the clock hits 5. Your business is always on your mind, which means when it's time to hire, you need a partner that works just as hard as you do. And that's where LinkedIn Jobs comes in. When you clock out, LinkedIn clocks in. They make it easy to post your job for free. Share it with your network. Get qualified candidates all in one place. Great thing about LinkedIn is that you can reach people that aren't actively looking for jobs, but then they see the posting and they say, hey, that sounds cool. That sounds like something I would be good at. LinkedIn's new feature can help you write job descriptions and quickly get your job in front of the right people with deep candidate insights. Here's a pro tip. Add the hashtag hiring frame to your profile picture to double your reach to qualified candidates. No wonder 72% of small businesses say LinkedIn helps them find high-quality hires. Do it today. Post your job for free. That's for free, folks, at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. LinkedIn.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right, it's the offseason. That means we talk rankings and where PFF has ranked J.J. McCarthy. I think I put it in the notes. Yes, I did. So I told you guys already. I was going to have you guess. 21st. They've got him ranked 21st among the 32 quarterbacks in the league. Here's who they have him ahead of, and this is without him playing a single down in the regular season. Got him ahead of Drake May. Wow. Michael Penix, Caleb Williams, Cam Ward, Sam Darnold. Again, if I'm a Seahawks fan, I'm like, what, 26th for Darnold after the year he had? Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson, Mason Rudolph, and Tyler Schuff. We're going with Schuff for the rookie. Do we like 21st for J.J. McCarthy? Does that feel about right, Ron?
So you look at the category who they put him with. I get it. It's all rookies, like it's all young guys, and so I just think it was a lazy. I mean, nothing against PFF, but after talking to the players, like I talked to Aaron Jones this week, I talked to C.J. Ham. Who else was standing around? We were talking about this. There was one other player over there. I forgot the other player standing there at the table, but we were over by the Gatorade Performance Center at TCO, and we were just hanging out, talking, and Keenan McCardell, and they all hate PFF because they're like, it doesn't make sense. You guys don't know what we do half the time, but you're trying to grade us. And we already heard Patrick Peterson's hate for him about this. I just think this is a lazy take because Bryce Young and J.J. McCarthy, in my opinion, shouldn't be in the same, like to say young players with a wide range of potential outcomes. You're just throwing darts at a board right now. You're just taking all the rookies and saying, look, maybe this, like you can't put Cameron Ward in the same category as some of these guys. You can't put Bo Nix with J.J. McCarthy. That's just my opinion. So I think it's a little lazy. But 21 does he deserve to be there? Yeah. Should he be higher than Bo Nix and Bryce Young? Yes. So I understand the thought, but like Tua Tagovailoa, Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, C.J. Stroud, like you can't really put them ahead of them. Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, they've done it. Brock Purdy, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, they've done it. Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford. So it's not a bad list. I just don't like the title of it. Like, I don't like how they're trying to like put just rank them. Stop trying to give reasons for your ranking. So I do think you should be ahead of those younger guys. I think you should be ahead of Bryce Young and Bo Nix. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I don't like the tiers. I'm with you. Like, what? I'm honestly more offended about Sam Darnold being.
Yeah, like he's way too low.
They have no faith in him without KOC. They're like, no.
Like, how do you put Michael Penix ahead of Sam Darnold?
Like, not there anymore.
Did you not watch the season? And I know that's your guy, Reggie, but like you can't put Sam Darnold below Michael Penix Jr. You can't.
Caleb Williams and Cam Ward too above Sam Darnold because they were trying way too hard to have like the young quarterbacks in the tier 4 and the veteran quarterbacks in tier 5. You're telling me that Sam Darnold and Russell Wilson are next to each other? on this list. Lazy take. Reggie, what do you think?
So I thought it was interesting. They put Tyler Shuck in there, and they also, it's not a foregone conclusion that Anthony Richardson is even going to start after the Colts sign Daniel Jones. And so I think that was an interesting placement as well. Here's my thing. I think a couple things. They said if he's fully healthy in 2025, and considering what Sam Darnold managed in this offense, McCarthy is set up to succeed. So that seems to like cancel out one or the other. It was like, okay, yeah, you're saying, yeah, Sam Darnold succeeded in this offense, but yeah, we don't have any faith in Sam Darnold outside of this offense. But then it's almost giving McCarthy the benefit of the doubt. I don't think I like that he's ahead of Drake May, Michael Penix, Caleb Williams. Those guys have played. I think what this says is that we don't really like what we've seen from those guys who have played, and they are instead taking the upside of a guy who only played one preseason game, and considering the offense that he's in and the play caller that he's playing under, I think they are giving him more of a benefit of the doubt based on how Sam Darnold was able to have success in that offense. And I don't know that that's fair. I think because he hasn't played and you really only saw like Michigan tape, like I think you kind of have to put him a little bit lower. And that's not just saying that because, I'm a big, Michael Penix guy. But, also Drake May took his lumps last year. I get that. Didn't necessarily look good. I think it was like a 3-9 record last season. So like, I understand that. Caleb Williams took his lumps. He's with the new play caller this year. Kind of interesting that they didn't give him the benefit of the doubt, considering what Ben Johnson did with Jared Goff the last several years as well. So I'm interested to see how it all plays out, but I think it was a little too high for McCarthy, considering he hasn't played any meaningful football, and the guys that they listed behind him outside of Cam Ward has played meaningful NFL football games.
Yeah, I would have toyed with this tier 4 pretty considerably. I wouldn't have Bryce Young above McCarthy. I also would have May and Penix probably a bit higher. But Julia, I mean, I don't know if I could in good conscience put J.J. McCarthy over any of these veterans, like even Dak, Tua, Trevor Lawrence. I just think we don't have enough proof to know where he stands until we see a little bit more.
No, I think it's just this was their way of being like, put him in there.
Shrug the shoulder. Who knows?
It is. Oh wait, JJ McCarthy, just throw him in there somewhere. Put him in there. No, I think that it's just like, I think it like, great point, Reggie. He's getting the benefit of the doubt without having any kind of experience in the league. It's just like a weird thing when you're looking at the list. Yeah, I just like the tiers are throwing me off too. Young players with a wide range of potential outcomes. Like, that's not helpful to anybody. Great. That was the most vague way that you could describe this tier possible. This is basically just like a bunch of young guys that you have no idea what's going on with them. And I do think also to Reggie's point, like using his PFF grades from Michigan, we all know that means nothing when it comes to NFL football. Like, no offense to everybody, but you can see the greatest quarterback in college football history to crash and burn in the league. So I just think that it's a big what if, a big unknown. Do I think he's in the right spot? And I mean, this is all just like they threw it in a big bowl and they were like, all right, we'll see what happens here. But I don't think he should be above Sam Darnold. I mean, yeah, that is kind of funny that they have no faith in him. But it's just like no, I don't really think that a list like this is, it's not that I like, sure, I disagree with it, but I just think it's like so unnecessary, like you didn't have to do this at all. I know everybody likes to read into things beforehand, but Yeah, I just think it's more of the constant, like, what we do all the time. We're just like, I have no idea.
We're bored in the off season.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: they tiered out the top wide receivers. I'm guessing you guys haven't seen this list. Do you want to guess their tier 1 has 3 receivers in it? Do you want to guess who they are? Shout them out.
Justin Jefferson,
Jamar
Chase, and Puka.
Yeah, this surprises me a lot. So Jefferson is 2, Chase is 3. You guys have yet to guess the number 1.
Devontae Adams.
Nope.
Top receivers in the game.
I'm waiting for Ron to swoop in and nail it.
Top receiver. It can't be Tyreek Hill. So
it's not Tyreek. He's in tier 2. Puka's in tier 2. This is wild to me, actually.
Garrett Wilson.
No, I'll give you one more guess.
Lions guy.
It's not Amon-Ra. That would have made more sense to me, honestly.
And it can't be the guy that was with the Rams. The other one that left.
It's not Cooper. The answer is AJ Brown.
Oh, Eagles. Yeah,
Oh,
I get
number
that.
1.
I get that.
All right.
Number 1.
I get it, but I don't think he's 1. But I get it because he is top 5. So I do get that.
Number
They
1
don't
is crazy.
throw.
I would think
They just
Jamar would
don't
be number
throw
1.
enough. Yeah, I would have put.
But here's the thing too for PFF, they do a lot of this for for this reason because they are going to get absolutely obliterated, and that's going to make everybody download and click.
You're not wrong.
Like that's exactly what. There's no other reason to do it. Like even watching Good Morning Football when they were doing the top receiving cores, and 2 of the 4 didn't have the Vikings even on their list. It's like, all right, come on now. Like it's just people just do whatever because they know if we just do what's right, we're not going to get, everybody's going to agree and they're going to move on. If we can create controversy, yeah. Because I've been a part of a meeting where I was asked to say something just to make sure it became something on Twitter. So I know people do that.
It's a polarizing media climate.
It is. And it's not saying like do it on purpose, just like you might be in the meeting and be like, well, this guy could, and then I'll be like, but you go with that. They'll kind of like go with that then. Let's go with that. So I that's definitely what it is. Because everybody knows AJ Brown's not better than those 2. It should be either Chase or Justin Jefferson. You can flip them, it doesn't matter. And then Brown would be 3. But by making him 1 and putting them 2 and 3, you're gonna get all the Vikings fans and all the Bengals fans and all the LSU fans are about to like attack.
Quick pause, and then we decide who will fight Stephon Diggs in joint practices. And we're back. They announced 2 days ago, Patriots coming to TCO Performance Center for joint practices. Mike Vrabel back in the saddle. Drake May against J.J. McCarthy. We got some good storylines. And, of course, the return of Stephon Diggs. Reggie, what are you looking forward to with joint practices with the Patriots?
So I want to see how Brian Flores tries to make Drake May's life just hell for a week. Like, I just think he's going to have some, but if he's good, if he's going to be good, that's a way for him to get some good experience against a good defense and a good defensive schemer. And so I think he's looking forward to the challenge as the competitor that he is. He's got some more weapons, like you said, with Stephon Diggs joining, and looks like he's going to be ready to roll for the start of the season with how he's coming along, making his appearances with Cardi B and all that stuff. But I'm also looking forward to seeing Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison against Christian Gonzalez. I think he's one of the top flight corners in the league, and I'm looking forward to the battle. I think it'll be physical. I think Vrabel's trying to instill this different type of mindset in the football team, and I think it's gonna be tough. We might see some fights. I like that.
Garrett Bradbury, who's now the Patriots center, is going to be like, whoa, guys, I didn't have to go up against anybody like this when I was a Viking. What's going on here? And he's going to stare across the line at Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave and like, whoa. I'm not used to this.
Barbecue chicken.
That's what Brian Flores will be. That's the phrase I think that he'll be using on the mic. Like when he's talking to, who's our green dot? Cashman. When he's talking to Cashman, he's like, all right, barbecue chicken play. Go at Bradbury. And they're going to put him on his back. I'm looking forward to just seeing what the trenches look like, defensive line and offensive line, because I think this is probably the greatest assembly of interior talent that I've seen, 15 years, with Hargrave, Phillips, Allen. And then on the offensive side, Fries, obviously, Ryan Kelly, and you've got Donovan Jackson. And will Donovan Jackson be starting at this point? Will he be the number one, or will it be a competition with Blake Brandel? These are all the things that I'm concerned about in joint practices. Julia, what excites you?
Josh Dobbs coming. No, I'm just kidding.
Is he on the Patriots?
Isn't he with the Patriots right now?
He might be. You can look at their roster.
Cardi B coming. Duh.
Yeah. Josh Dobbs, number 11.
I have a giant poster of Cardi B in my apartment. I'm going to ask her if she wants to come see it. No. I think that the biggest, obviously Stephon Diggs coming back is like a huge deal, right? But I think you're right, Sam. This will be our first look at the trenches in real competition to kind of see how it's all working out for them. I think another thing that's interesting, I was just kind of like looking up the connections between the teams and things like that. In 2008, Kevin O'Connell was on the team. So was Vrabel, and Brian Flores was an assistant for the Patriots, all with the Patriots at the time.
Wow. Good research.
So it's like a fun little 2008 reunion that they're having, because when Vrabel was here 2 years ago, Flores wasn't here. So it wasn't really a full reunion yet. So, fun little fact for you there. In 2008, everyone was in New England. But I think that the main thing also, I think it'll be interesting to see just the comparison of JJ McCarthy and Drake May. I think that that's just bound to happen with both of them out there, same draft class, two white quarterbacks. Everyone's going to be, interested to see what they look like right next to each other. So yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting. I think it'll also be, JJ McCarthy's real first test against another team. So interesting to see how he fares against that Patriots defense, because I think that'll be our like real first look at him this season.
Yeah, and I'm also really curious too, and Ron, I'll let Ron go too. I wonder how much JJ is going to play in the preseason, because of the injury situation, right? And because of how much he means to this team. You don't have like a Daniel Jones behind him. You've got Sam Howell. You don't have a veteran backup that you want to be playing this year. So are they going to let JJ play in the preseason much, or is the joint practices going to be like the most we get to see? I'm so curious how they handle that aspect of it. Ron, go ahead.
Yeah, I am wondering the over-under on offset diss tracks towards Stephon Diggs that the Vikings are going to play. He just released one. Subliminal. You got to listen to the lyrics, but it's just gotten posted that people are saying this is a Stephon Diggs diss track. I don't think anybody, honestly, like you look at our cornerback room, the only people that I could see even remotely thinking that they want to get into it with Stephon Diggs, honestly, is my guy Ambry Thomas, because he's from Martin Luther King High School in Detroit. Like, he's a Detroit kid. He grew up on 3200 Boulevard, just like me. Like, it's a different mindset when you step on the field with stars. And here's the reason. Not that it's disrespectful, because he's played against Stephon Diggs already. It's more to show the coaches I can handle the best. But again, August 9th is the game, I think. Who knows if Stephon Diggs is even going to play with that ACL? Like, he got a full zipper up his knee. Like, he might not be ready to go with his ACL. Like, think about what's his name for the Vikings who came back from the ACL. Recently tight end Hawkinson. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't ready to go during training camp. So I don't even think Stephon Diggs is going to go. Like, and if I'm the Patriots, it doesn't make sense for him to go. Like, he's coming off of a reconstructed knee. I saw him and his brother just post something of them working out together and da-da-da. And, you see him at the Knicks games with Cardi B now. They're out front with it. I just don't see the value in putting him on the field against Minnesota when you know what he can give you. So you want him to get to week 1 or 2 and be healthy. So I don't even think he's going to go. I think this is going to be the J.J. McCarthy, Drake May show to see who spins the ball better, who's more accurate, who's more consistent. And then again, keeping an eye on J.J. McCarthy's knee. Like if he's doing great in these practices, because I even asked one of the coaches about that. If the starters kill it in the actual team situations in practice, they're not playing in the game. Unless they suck in practice, there's no reason to put them out there on the field for TV. Because the practice is going to give you the full go looks. And so that's where I think these coaches are looking forward to that. The full go looks for both quarterbacks, but for sure for J.J. McCarthy to say, all right, this is how he killed it. Maybe let's get one series for the fans and then we're done. But yeah.
Let me ask you this on Stephon Diggs. Right now he's 31 years old, 10,491 yards, 70 touchdowns, 6,000 yard seasons. The miracle. Is he on a Hall of Fame trajectory?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
12,000 yards gets him there. It has to.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. Michael Irvin got in with less than 12,000 yards.
But he had how many Michael Irvin Super Bowls? Is it 2?
3, right?
Yes.
Is it 3?
I'm not sure on the Super Bowl number.
I think it's 2 or 3. Steph doesn't have one, right?
He's been to multiple conference championships, never been in a Super Bowl.
Hines Ward got in though, right?
Let me check that.
I think Hines Ward got in, unless he was just there with Jerome Bettis. I thought Hines Ward got in too later.
Hines Ward is not.
No, he's not in.
Oh, okay. Well,
he's
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like he'll eventually get in, but with the numbers that he has. Hines Ward, 1,000 receptions, 12,000 yards, 85 receiving touchdowns. Stephon may have to wait for a while. I mean, Torrey Holt's still waiting. Reggie Wayne, like,
the Reggie Wayne one still gets me to this day.
Yeah, like these guys are still waiting, man, and they're picking, newer. Like when Calvin Johnson got in, like I got it, like I understand
that's
that.
Megatron though,
but it was just like
Megatron in.
It's just like, man, like Torrey Holt's got Super Bowl. Reggie Wayne's got Super Bowl.
Because Larry Fitzgerald isn't eligible yet, right? This is his eligible year.
He soon will be. I'm wondering if he gets in before.
He'll be first ballot.
He's the number 2 receiver all time. He has to get in. You got Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Isaac Bruce is in, Tony Gonzalez is in, Tim Brown's in. Steve Smith Sr. is not a Hall of Famer, right?
Nope.
And he's got 14,000 yards. So I don't know now. That's Stephon Diggs.
It's loaded. It's loaded. It's all about what he does in his 30s. Like if you assemble the resumes of guys at age 30, there's a million of them. But if you can extend your career, like because he's 31, right? If he plays till 35, gets that total to 14,000 yards, then I think the case gets a lot stronger.
Yeah, because Andre Johnson got in, but Reggie Wayne didn't. So I don't get that. And Reggie Wayne has more yards than him.
Anquan Bolden's still waiting. Like
Chris Carter's in, but Anquan's not. It's gonna Julio Jones is gonna get in. Torrey Holt's still waiting. You're right. Andre Reed got in. Steve Largent is in, but that's a long time ago. Yeah, that's Art Monk is in, but that was a different era. Mike Evans is definitely gonna get in because he's the 1,000-yard merchant.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
don't disrespect my GOAT like that.
Yeah, that's tough because Hines Ward isn't in and he's at 12,000. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Stephon Diggs' miracle might help because it's also about the public eye. You know what I mean? Like,
correct.
And so I feel like people assume like Marvin Harrison was good. I think Reggie Wayne is getting knocked because of the Peyton Mannings with Marvin Harrison era, and they were saying Marvin started getting doubled and Reggie started eating off of that. I don't know though. That's weird. You're right, Reggie. This is a weird because Larry Fitzgerald has to be first round. He's 17,000 yards. You can't not put him in.
121 touchdowns.
So Reggie gets bumped like unless they put a big class in because it looks like these classes are getting smaller. Yeah, I don't know. Stephon might be waiting.
Does Diggs wear a Bills jersey? Does he go in with as a Bill probably. And then is there a chance he'd go in as a Viking?
I mean, by then he might be over all of it. Zimmer's gone. Like is Kirk going to give him the jacket though? Like, is he going to?
Another very quick pause. Reggie's Care 11 grind just never stops. He's got to bounce. We're going to say goodbye to Reggie. When we come back, we've got tush push discussion and flag football in the Olympics. That's next after a very, very short break. Ron's got opinions. Let's get straight to it, Ron. Why are you booing the flag football bit?
It's stupid. Nobody liked it in the Pro Bowl. I mean, I don't even like it in the Pro Bowl. I think it's fun, but it's not like gold medal worthy. Like, I just think we're making a mockery of these sports now. Like the breakdancing. I'm all for the movie Step Up, putting people in the ring.
That was not Step Up material, though. That was not anywhere near. If we're gonna do dancing at the Olympics, they better do it right.
I wish they would have done like some type of what was it? ABDC. Yeah. The Nick Cannon used to do the thing with all them, and what was the Jabberwockies and
they should have dance crews.
Yeah, it should be like a team thing, like the bobsled team. Like you get a group and you guys make a routine, and then you battle it out, and then the winners get named. Like the World Jam from Step Up. Like you have all the different worlds show up and they battle in a dance battle. I just flag football to me just doesn't. And again, to get some of these older NFL guys like Tyreek Hill, fast as hell. Yes. Stephon Diggs, great athlete. But they're not going to take it serious. Like if you put a bunch of college dudes out there that know, like if I win a gold medal, I'm going to get $37,000 or $55,000 for winning this gold medal. $55,000 to an NFL player is nothing. Like they're going to spend more on a private jet to get to the Olympics because they're not getting on a team plane. They're going to fly, they're going to charter it with a bunch of dudes. Like, hey, dude, let's get $1 million. Let's get Qatar. Let's get the Qatar thing from President Trump. Like they're not going to go cheap. So they're going to spend more money getting there just to get a gold medal versus if you were to go get, I don't even know who the top college players are right now, but if you were to say get Coy Parrish to play DB and you go get, what's his name out of Ohio State, and you go get the receiver from Miami. Like those guys are more likely to go out there and really put on a show than some of these $1 million athletes. Like it's not like basketball. It's a huge difference, flag football and basketball. So I just don't get it. It doesn't really make sense to me. And a risk injury because there's no injury. Like the owners voted and the owners are like, if you get hurt, we're not paying for it. So
my thing is, I think the whole flag football thing is like, people love American football, but they're catering to the rest of the world because the rest of the world doesn't have the athletes that we have when it comes to actual football.
Correct.
And then it's like, what's the point? The Olympics are supposed to be about the top athletes in a sport. That's not a sport that everyone's playing. That's not something that I just think I agree with Ron. I'm like, okay. When I saw the announcement and everyone was putting it everywhere on social media, I was like, okay, I don't see like I understand it just doesn't carry the same weight as like other Olympic sports. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if I'm going to be honest, like if Justin Jefferson went and played flag football in the Olympics and then went and got one of the Olympic tattoos, I'd be like, dude, come on. Like this is, I mean,
they want an Olympic gritty. We know that. But I don't think Justin Jefferson's dumb enough to.
They want to make the Olympic. They want to put more star power in the Olympics. That's what they want. And I just think that they're just kind of coming up with dumb ideas at this point.
This is just a little too self-gratifying for the American viewer. Like, what internet? I guess maybe there's some CFL guys. Like maybe Canada can produce a team. What other nations have even the infrastructure to put a team on the field? Like pick anyone off the list, the 32 quarterback list we talked about earlier in the show. I mean, they're just head and shoulders better. Grab Jordan Addison, Tyreek Hill, a couple other speedy receivers. Who's going to catch them? Who's going to touch them?
But there are some NFL players though that are from like have birthrights or dual citizenship in other countries. So if you think
Yeah.
about like Berlin football, like Berlin actually has tackle football. Remember, you got to think about the overseas football that used to happen back in the day. That was like, what was it, like 11 to 12 Americans, and then the rest were that
Back in the
country's
day,
people.
though, those guys
But they still, what was it? Boringer, Moritz?
Moritz Boringer.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back for the Olympics. Like, he's going to put his bid in to play for Berlin or wherever he's from. So you will have like Germany, Berlin, some of those areas that had football. Amsterdam has it, because I know the former Gophers receiver, I forget his name, Rashad something. He's playing in Germany right now. Like, he plays over there. So there is a league of like 8 teams over there. But again, I've watched some of his highlights on Instagram because he posts them, and he's over there like head topping people. And he was 6'5" receiver, played for the Gophers. But he made it to training camp and then got cut. So is he NFL ready? No, not to NFL standards, but is he flag football ready at 6'5"? Yeah, because you can't tackle him. So now it's just, I'm gonna throw deep balls to him. And then think about Shohei Ohtani. Like, if you get a bunch of Shohei Ohtanis out there, like, you don't have to throw the ball deep. You just got to keep, like, that's one thing about flag football we're forgetting. It's a bunch of like trick plays and tosses forwards and shallows and shuffles back. And like, that's the other side of it, where the NFL players aren't ready for that. They're going out there trying to line up and play 7-on-7. These dudes are going out there playing backyard football. Like, that's why that one dude said he was better than Patrick Mahomes. He's a dummy, but I understand what he was trying to say. Like, he in flag football terms, he is better than Patrick Mahomes, but in true football terms, he is not.
I think we need Ben Johnson as the coach, because Ben Johnson can draw him up in the dirt with the best of them, or Mike McDaniel. He gives off the flag football vibes that we're seeking. Maybe
I wouldn't put it past Sean McVay either. Sean McVay and what's his name for the 49ers. I give both of them. Yeah, Shannon. I give them some trickery too.
McVay. Well, the Olympics are in LA. Sean McVay, LA.
But I would never put Mike Zimmer out there. Mike Zimmer would literally lose his mind. He would hate that. Him and Belichick.
Not enough stopping the run for Mike Zimmer's tastes.
If we're gonna play flag football, we might as well put Anthony Edwards on a team.
He would He would love that.
He could head top some guys. Just throw the fade.
Just saying.
Last one, tush push vote today. We've got conflicting reports already. Diana Rossini said, let me find the exact wording. Diana Rossini, who's been tweeting a lot, and it's making it hard to find. They are expected. Nope. All right. I can't find it. Diana, stop tweeting so much. She
I know what you're talking about.
She insinuated that they have voted it or were going to vote it down.
Despite the Eagles' best efforts, the tush push is likely on its way out.
Correct. The other reports I've read are more so that they're arguing, they're lobbying. Jason Kelsey is here. He's presenting on why they should keep it, but maybe she has wind that there's momentum to kill it. Julia, you supportive if they kill the tush push, or are you like, nah, let it live?
Let it live. Let it live. Let it live. Why not? I think Jason Kelsey's talking right now as we speak about the safety of it all. And stop complaining if your quarterback can't squat 600 pounds and you can't do it.
Okay, so let it live, as the Beatles once sang. Let it live. Ron?
I don't really care. The one thing I will say though is like the being able to move your teammate forward was deemed illegal down the field. So I don't understand why you can do it behind the line of scrimmage. Because if you have a teammate that's trying to get into the end zone, you're not supposed to be able to push him into the end zone by rule down the field. Like if guys are trying to carry a guy into the end zone, you're not supposed to be able to do it. So I don't understand how all of a sudden they read the rule and there's a gray area of like, well, you can put your hand on his butt because he's behind the line of scrimmage. You can push him forward like a rugby scrum. Hey, it is what it is. Like everybody can do it. Some teams just do it better than others, and Eagles do it better than everybody else. So, hey, if everybody can do it, then stop them. So, yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah, I want it to die. I want it killed. I'm not bitter just because the Eagles are good and nobody else is good. It's because it's a boring play. It's not an entertaining play.
True.
And if you think about the evolution of sport, because of the Eagles' success, inevitably everybody's going to get good at the play. Like everyone's going to work at it. They're going to, get the right personnel to be good at the play. It's going to become too automatic across the league, I think, with the evolution and the copycat nature of the league. And I think it's boring. I would much rather have a play from scrimmage on 4th and 1 where you have to hand it off to a back, make him make a move, or complete a pass, run a good route. I think it's a little too much of a cheat code. It's too homogenous for my liking. It's not an attractive play. I don't like having to scrape people off the pile every time there's a 4th and 1. So kill it. Let it die. It doesn't have to be a painful death.
Let it
but
die. Let it
gently
die.
lower it into the grave.
Let it shrivel up and die.
That's how I'm feeling. Just
That's from the Lorax.
I'm not feeling very merciful from the Lorax, you say. Dr. Seuss was dark. Wow. That's our show for today. Hear Ron Johnson on Tuesdays. Ron Johnson Show. He'll be on the Minnesota Football Party tomorrow with his Thursday appearance. Julia's in OKC. Covering Thursday, game 2. Wolves going to bounce back, Julia?
We'll see.
Oh. So are you it sounds like you're saying that the Timberwolves are shriveling up and dying as well.
No. They bounced back before. They just like to dig a little hole and then
free throw merchant. Free throw merchant.
Yeah, I will say that's crazy work that Shea does.
Even the Anthony Edwards standing over the top of him, he gets up and then Anthony Edwards kind of pushes him and he didn't push him as hard as he pushed LeBron. He just kind of bumped him as he tried to run through his space. And they called a foul. It's like, come on, that's not a foul. Like it's so bad as how like you can't touch him. Literally, like, and he creates the contact and then does the step back and then gets the foul. It is so frustrating that he can create contact. And if you create the old age rule, if you create contact, you do not get the foul because that's what Shaq used to do, and they let it play on. That's what Jordan used to do. They let it play on. That's what Anthony Edwards does. They don't give him the foul. Shea, because he like he falls to the ground like this. For those watching on YouTube, they give it to him, and I'm like, come on, this is so bad. It's bad.
It's tough to watch. If it's a whistle happy series, Wolves have no chance. But also, Timberwolves, you are allowed to drive to the basket and draw fouls. That is also legal. When you shoot 51 threes, you don't give yourself that much opportunity. Yeah. Good looks. I mean, hit your shots. But I think we'll see an adjustment in game 2. Anyway, this is a football show. Locked on Vikings podcast feed, Locked on Sports Minnesota on video. We appreciate Julia, Reggie, and Ron's time. I'm Sam Ekstrom. Talk to you next time on Locked on Sports Minnesota.